Hi, my name's Caryn Dugan, and I'm coming to you today from the Center for Plant-Based Living right here in downtown Kirkwood, Missouri. And I'm sharing with you my kale salad with creamy tahini dressing. I have been making this thing for years and I cannot get away from it because I just have never gotten sick of it. I love it. I make it for every dinner party. I make it in classes all the time. People love this, and I think that you will too. This is a creamy, oil-free, plant-based salad dressing. So I'm going to show you how to make this dressing, and then I'm also going to show you how to correctly dress your kale so that everyone loves it, because not everyone loves kale, okay? I know. Okay, so to a blender, we're going to add tahini. That's going to be our base. Tahini is hulled or ground sesame seeds. I'm going to add about 1/3 cup here. Now you want to make sure that when you're buying tahini, and you can get it at just about any grocery store, usually in the international aisle, you want to make sure on the label that it only says ground sesame seeds. You don't need any extra oils or stabilizers or fillers or any of that nonsense. Just ground sesame seeds. I promise you'll find it. Okay, then we want to, because that's a good amount of fat in there, but we have a lot of kale here. So we're going to that 1/3 cup of tahini, we're going to add the juice of 1/2 lemon. So the lemon's going to add, the acid of the lemon is going to add a really nice brightness and just a hint of sweetness and a little bit of tart. I mean, you know what a lemon tastes like. Now I'm not using, or I chose not to get out my citrus press for no other reason than just a fork was closer by. And if I get some seeds in here, no big deal. They'll just be pulverized. And they'll also be pulverized if you're not using a high-speed blender. So you certainly don't need to use a high-speed blender. Okay, now we're gonna add a little bit of maple syrup. And if you want to add honey, you can do that. Date paste would also be nice in here, but I just chose maple syrup because I sometimes like that butteriness of it, but truly any kind of sweetness is just fine. Now I'm going to add in 1 tablespoon of balsamic vinegar. And I'm just gonna eye that, yeah, okay. I think, you know, a regular balsamic would be nice, well, is nice. A white balsamic would be good. And also maybe even a champagne vinegar. Play around with your vinegars. There's so many out there now. And if you want to use a different one in there, it's, I mean, really, this is your recipe now, so play around with it. And then we're gonna add a little bit of spice in there. And what I mean by that is garlic. I am a garlic lover. 1, 2.5 cloves. And a little bit of salt. All right, so that is nicely balanced, though we'll really know after we taste it. So in your blender, let's get everything rocking and rolling. We're gonna add a little bit of water just to get started, and then press play. I'm going to test this, just making sure there's not too much of any one of our ingredients that are really coming through. That's nice. Okay, I can taste the tanginess, but it's not too tangy because the kind of the, I guess maybe the fat and the flavor from the tahini is buffering it a little bit. Boy, that's nice. Now it is pretty thick. Let's see if I can show this to you. It is really pretty thick, but I like it that thick because it's really going to coat the leaves. If you want it a little thinner, no big deal, just add some more water. Okay, now there's also a way that I'd like to show you how to cut kale or to prepare your kale. And what I like to do is take the stalks one at a time And with your index finger and your thumb, now of course, you know, we're doing this on camera, it doesn't always work, but you want to give it just enough pressure. Don't hold that stalk too tight. And there we go. Pull the leaf or pull the stalk right off of the leaf. And there we go. That's one. Let's see if we can do it again. Oh my goodness. It's a good day. It's a good day. And we'll do it one more time. Am I pressing my luck? Yes, I am. Okay. No big deal. Now, here's the thing. You do not always have to do that because I cut my kale so thinly that even if you were to leave this stalk on, you probably wouldn't even notice it. So this is what I like to do after I take the stalk off, or if I just leave it on, okay? So we're just going to layer our leaves. Lay it down on your cutting board, on your cutting board, on your cutting board. Just gonna stack them, and then we're gonna roll them. Now this is curly kale, and it's not always gonna, you know, do what you want it to, but we can try. Grab your knife, and almost like a julienne, we're gonna do nice little ribbons. So this is why you don't really need to take out that spine, because we're cutting this so thinly. And then sometimes if I think that those ribbons might be a little bit too long, one cut just right down the middle. Now we're going to add that to our bowl of kale. Now if you go to a restaurant and you order the kale salad and you get it, and all they've done is drizzle the dressing over it, it is not going to taste good. It really isn't, and I probably don't even need to tell you that, do I? You can see, first of all, you can see how fluffy this is, right? Before I put the dressing on it. We're going to take some more out of there, because you know what? You don't want to waste it. All right, so I'm going to get that somehow into the sink. Now, this is the reason I'm wearing gloves today. Get in there, and I mean really get in there. You are gonna get up on your tippy toes just like me. I'm on my tippy toes. And take those leaves and give them like a Swedish massage. You know, people say, oh, you wanna massage the dressing into the leaves. Well, it's not like this. This is not doing anything. You're just kind of tossing it around. What you want to do is break down those really strong woody fibers that are in kale that makes it so just earthy and bitter and just really not tasty. I mean, my goodness, wasn't kale just a garnish for years and years? Who wants to eat the garnish? No, let's dress the garnish up and really get in there. We're tenderizing these leaves. They are going to become nice and soft. And you'll see that the kale starts to become this really bright green. You're pulling all that water out. You're infusing the dressing. And you're up on your tippy toes. There you go. Oh yeah, and then in just a minute or so, or as long as you do this, you'll see that, oh my goodness, it looks like you have half of the amount of kale that you started with. Clearly it's all still in the bowl. This is not a magic act. But what you've done is you've pulled out that water and infused the dressing into the leaves, tenderized it, marinated it, created a little bit of magic. And I'll tell you what, now everyone is going to love this kale. This is how you get your friends and family and yourself to eat kale. This is some good stuff. Now I'm going to take off. It's a workout. It is. Okay, get out. I mean, I could, and I will, once I stop recording, eat out of this bowl. But we're going to show you up close just what this looks like. I mean, come on. If you got that at a restaurant, You'd eat that up in a second. Now with this, I will usually garnish or add in maybe some pumpkin seeds or some walnuts, just for texture and of course nutrition. Red onion is really nice in here, so is sun-dried tomatoes, and even really just to round out the meal, add in some, I'll steam or roast some little maybe potatoes and put those in there as well, and it's just a really beautiful meal. So this and that was how you make a great oil-free creamy dressing and correctly dress kale so that everyone loves it. And I hope you take this and run with it. And I will see you very soon. Thanks for joining me today. I'm gonna have some.